Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. I am thrilled that we have Curtis back with us here because, Curtis, I heard you since the last episode. You actually managed to do one day event where you collected $210,000. Can you please share with the audience how did you manage to do that?
Yeah, no. So that's actually part of my master class. So we're running the master class called like the $10 million roadmap. And it's named as such because the system that we teach you helps you create 6 and 7 figure days. So the master class that I ran that I then closed $210,000 on is a kind of a meta example of what that looks like. So if you don't have a high ticket offer, you don't have a way to close that amount, steal mine. Use the exact bit that we show you how to run, or use the framework that we teach you to create your own systems and create your own events that people just want to come to.
So how do you do this? Like, do you have your own system in place, your own strategy, or can you share that with the audience, please?
Yeah, for sure. So the system I created kind of was inspired by like whenever I was a couple years, honestly, it was a couple years back. I was sitting in my living room just over here on the couch and was just looking at my phone as I had literally taken the last dollar out of my personal bank account to pay for like business expenses. And I sat there asking myself, how on earth do did I put myself in this situation? How do I get out of it? I'm going to put my family on the street. Many of your listeners probably have been in that same situation of some sort because like every entrepreneur I feel like and everyone I've talked to has kind of had that moment of like I either have to do something different, I have to get a job, or something has to change. And that's a pivotal moment for all of us. And that was the moment that I decided like I was never going to give up. And over the course of the next however many years, I created what I call the $10 million roadmap. The $10 million roadmap is a strategic way of creating 6 and 7 figure days, essentially doing high ticket sales, creating what we call knockout offers, an offer that people know they want.
Totally. And so can you maybe share a little bit more about what holds people back? Because this is something we see, like people want to, a lot of entrepreneurs, they really want to succeed, but maybe they don't have a strategy. Maybe there is some other issue they're facing. So can you maybe share a little bit more about your experience, what you have seen?
For sure. I actually made a social media post this morning kind of talking about it. Interestingly enough, this morning I tested this again. I went into ChatGPT and I said, ChatGPT, please act as a government advisor, a theoretical government advisor that is helping an administration reach its goals. The goals of which are to ensure the middle class stays the middle class and it discourages people from trying to succeed outside the system by creating a narrative that only happens to people who are lucky. And it spat out something terrifying, in my opinion. The quick summary of it is number one, it wants to control the education, standardized testing, vocational training systems to limit critical thinking and access to advanced knowledge. Step two, media manipulation, promote consumerism and celebrity culture, diverting attention and distracting people from systematic inequality, economic policies, wage suppression and debt creation traps individuals in cycles of financial dependence and a narrative control, reinforcing the idea that success is solely based on an individual's effort, dismissing systemic barriers. Um, I say that's terrifying because that seems oddly like the system we live in today. So, for everyone who thinks that, like, What's holding you back? Like, look, the system was literally designed to hold you back. However, that's not the end. Like, the system has a fundamental flaw. Usain Bolt actually gave this quote where he said, I trained for 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months. And that quote reminds me that, like, the system has a flaw. The flaw is you. You can choose to never give up. The difference between the 90% of entrepreneurs who fail and the 10% that succeed is every single person I've interviewed, every single entrepreneur I've talked to that is making 6, 7 figures, 8 figures plus, all started from nothing. The only thing that made them different was they never quit.
Exactly. And so, can you also maybe tell us a little bit deeper in terms of like what is holding people back? Because this is, I see this all the time. I see this people actually wanting to do something, but then they may be facing some obstacles or maybe they don't have the right strategy. From your experience, can you share that, please?
For sure. So, one of the things in our system that we teach, which is knockout offers, which is how to create high ticket offers that people know will work specifically for them in order to basically ensure people, regardless of testimonials, want whatever it is you're offering, right? The big issue people run into when they do this is they question their own self-worth. What is, who am I to charge $10,000, $20,000 for whatever it is? Because I question my own worth, right? That is a struggle all entrepreneurs deal with. And I would strongly encourage you to, whether or not you go to the masterclass, this is something we do in it. I would encourage you to sit down and write down how many years have you spent trying to reach whatever this next goal is? How many books have you read? How many pages journaling have you written? How many posts have you created? How and how much money have you spent to get the education that you already have? What most people find is they have spent not just like a couple thousand. They've spent years of their life. They've read dozens of books. They've written thousands of pages of notes sometimes. I've written personally close to 14,000 myself. And thousands upon thousands of dollars. Sometimes when you actually sit down and crunch the numbers, people realize that, like, oh, like I've spent $500,000 over the last decade to learn the information that I have. In order for someone to gain the knowledge that you already have, how much time, energy, and money are you saving them by them paying you instead of having to recreate what you did on your own?
Absolutely. I mean, I really want to actually join this masterclass myself as well because I totally relate to this and I see this happening a lot as well. So what are the next steps that our listeners and viewers should take?
So our master class is coming up on March 17th. Yeah, March 17th. Um, Go to the website, 10 million, the number 10, word million, roadmap.com, and watch a short video. It's actually our last interview, uh, which may or may not change in the near future, but that's what it currently is. And you can actually see and hear more about the masterclass. If you decide this is what you want, I would strongly encourage you to sign up for the free masterclass. And if you want to get the most out of it, I would strongly encourage you to look at the VIP experience. The VIP experience gives you additional tools and resources that ensure you get tangible results out of the masterclass, not just a bunch of notes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, I'll definitely include the link in the description of this episode. And Curtis, is there something that maybe I didn't ask you that you would like to share with our audience before we close?
Yeah, I'm going to read you a piece of my social media content that I didn't read earlier, that I think is really important for all of you to hear, because this is near and dear to my heart. I spent 10 years and documented approximately 14,000 pages of what not to do, what I call my Rocky cutscene. And then I found the one page of what worked. If you feel like you're in your Rocky cutscene and feel like you never know when it will end and you don't know if you're doing the right thing, it's okay. In the movies, the Rocky cutscene lasts 30 seconds. In your life, it can last 5 years, it can last a decade. But if you push through, I can guarantee you, you have a 100% higher chance of succeeding than if you give up.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you all for watching and listening to this episode. If you liked it, drop us a like, subscribe, and also, follow the link to this amazing masterclass that Curtis is sharing with you. So, see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you.